better appreciation for what I'm doing now and everything. You ready to jump in, dude?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right, ladies and gents, welcome back to Articulate. Today we've got Mbeta. How you doing, dude?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm glad to have you back, man.
I'm glad to be back.
It's been a lot different since the last time you came on,
man. I like the setup. This shirt is nice.
Yeah, it's a little comfy. I mean, in the camera, nobody can tell anything that's going on
that's
outside
why I
it.
wasn't even gonna mention over there.
Yeah, dude.
I shouldn't even look that way. I should.
Gretchen Dietz came on and she was just like, "Oh, you got like a laundry machine down here?" Don't. I was like, "No, this is a studio. I don't know."
Exactly.
Nobody knows. You don't need to say that.
Like when I saw the video of it online, I'm like, "Oh shit, you got a studio space now?" That's the first thing I thought.
Yeah, no, it looks like it is.
Yeah.
Dude. It's kind of nice. I mean, I could do so much more with it too, but I got to put time and thought into it, which is what we're here to talk about today. A little bit. I got to put a little bit more creativity into this, you know.
And creativity takes time. Like from where you started when you first started doing podcasting to where you were when you first started in Philly to where you are now.
Yeah,
creativity
I'm still figuring
evolves.
it out. Yeah, true. Yeah, you're not joking when it took like a while, dude. Because for 100 episodes, I didn't have any video. You know what I mean? 110. I'm at 120 now. I got some videos in, but even, dude, because George Miller just came on again, and what we were talking about was our previous episode, and kind of breaking that down, dude. It's just the structure is so much different, and the studio, the mics, dude, everything.
For real, man. I'm loving the setup. Got my name and my ad name.
Yeah.
I fuck with it.
Follow Mbeta at I Love Mbeta, dude. I still love that at, dude.
I mean,
it's a great one.
Right,
yeah.
I like when people say it. How can you not love somebody when you just said you love them?
True. Yeah.
You know?
You're manifesting love for yourself.
You know, I got to. You gotta love me.
Yeah, definitely. And I do love you, Mbeta.
Love you too, dog.
Because because you come up with some interesting ideas, dude. People come up with it's funny asking people what topics or what they've been thinking about recently. And yours are the type of thought provoking topics that you came up with, dude.
I'm always thinking, man. I'm always trying to provoke thought in myself.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard, dude. Sometimes it's easy to just numb. Go numb.
It's be on autopilot, but I feel like it's something soul crushing about being on autopilot for too long.
That's true.
So.
Yeah, man. That's what I felt like this summer. So, yeah, man, I kind of came out of I switched jobs, and the old job was terrible for me. And I got a new job, dude. I've been the happiest I've been since then. But now that I'm being happy, it was just I was able to just kind of roll with everything.
Yeah.
Because when I was sad, it's all right, I had to actively think to what can I do to make myself feel better, or what healthy habits do I need to instill in myself to make myself get to a better place. Then once you're in a better place, I used to meditate all the time,
right?
But now I've been happy. It's bro, I'm just going with
exactly.
it. Yeah, you know.
That's how I was a lot about comedy and what I wanted to do, creativity. When I first got out of college, my goal was to not have a good job. I wanted a shitty job, so I felt more all right, now I really gotta do this comedy thing.
Yeah.
So I had shitty jobs for a while, but now it's I got my own place. I need some money.
Yeah.
I'm broke. I need some money. So I'm actively trying to get a better job, taking this IT course.
Oh, nice.
So I can get a better job. But yeah, it's I feel like it's something to being in a bad place that helps you achieve shit.
Yeah,
that you couldn't achieve if you were already in a good place.
Yeah, definitely. That is what you said last time too, because you were if
I
they're,
don't remember what I did.
I didn't say anything. Yeah, no, but you were talking about basically how one, it was there's no, you burned all the bridges. You know what I mean? It's you got to put everything into this comedy thing, and you were also talking about being around other people that they're being successful with their ventures. Kind of pushes you to be damn, I got to get my shit together too.
That's facts.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're around a bunch of millionaires, how can you not be a millionaire?
Yeah.
If you hang around 10 people, you're going to be the sum of those 10 people.
Yeah.
One way or another.
But getting back to the creativity thing. So with going on autopilot, I love life, you know what I mean? But then, dude, my stand-up was just getting stale, man. It was just getting real... Yeah. I wasn't writing it all, and just doing the same jokes in front of the same people all the time just gets they could tell, you know what I mean? They could tell you're not as excited about it, and it just becomes so boring. And that's when I started to, I think I told you this, so your thing was different ways of staying creative. So I guess let me ask, what do you do to stay creative?
always trying to, because I feel like creativity is not just in one outlet, one or two outlets.
Yeah.
You know, you can be creative in any aspect of life.
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking about, because I was feeling the same way. Like I was forcing myself to go out to tell jokes, but I wasn't writing any new jokes.
Yeah.
So I would either just try to say stuff off the top of my head, but then I would always come back to these old jokes if I felt like I was bombing too hard.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to stay creative by like, all right, I'm taking this IT course now. How can I leverage this in a creative way? So there's different ways you can use information technology. Like when it comes to coding, I might want to do game developing or just like being creative that way. Like whatever I'm focused on, because I can be real focused on anything for like 3 to 6 months.
Oh, really?
And right now it's on IT. So that's all my attention. So now I'm trying to figure out how can I leverage that.
Yeah.
Use my creativity in that.
Yeah, that was one thing that you said was different ways to stay like creative within work too.
Yeah.
And what I wrote down was incorporating creativity just in your daily life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's one thing like for me to open up like creative, nozzles or whatever.
Yeah.
You have to do things that are going to stimulate different parts of your brain.
Yeah, that's fact.
So like, dude, like back in college, I was like, all right, what can I do to like stimulate different parts of my? I would just like instead of walking on the path, I would just walk in the grass like straight into class, or like, or go like a back route. You know, that's just like daily life shit. You know, to that could be a little different and like switch your thought process up a little bit.
Like when I was in college and I used to box, I used to be creative because, like, what I love about boxing is you can be so creative, just be super unorthodox. Like a simple 1, 2, 3, I can go 1 down here, 2 up here, 3 down there, and just creative with the way you put combination together. 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 7, 1, 1, 4, 1, 2, 3. It's like 3, 3, 3. Like just creative like that. So you can just incorporate it in any way. So I've always, it's like a unconscious thing at this point, but that's why I really used to like boxing. I was real unorthodox with my style.
That, dude, because like when I was first kind of stepping into my creative element, if you want to call it that or whatever, it was really easy to discount and be like, sports isn't creative, you know what I mean? Or like football is not creative. It's like y'all are just watching men tackle each other. You know, you could just put it in like some simple terms like that and kind of demean it a little bit. But the way you're talking about it and like the way that I've, obviously you got to be open-minded is like everything can be creative at some point. Like even like management, like business management or like any business things. But like that's cool within sports. I never heard like within boxing like how creative.
Yeah, you could be hella creative. You just real unorthodox. It's like don't even think or just think a lot.
Yeah, or think a lot.
Or think a lot. Because that was one thing I was good at. One thing a lot of people do when they fight, they don't know how to think. They just fight off instinct. So if as soon as you get punched in your face, you start throwing shit. And that's where I used to thrive at.
Oh, really? Emotions?
Chess. Like, not even emotions, just that I already know that you're not thinking about your next move. So I can think a couple moves ahead. So I know if I'm going to throw this, you're going to come with this one, and then I'm going to automatically go this way. So it looked like I'm reading what you're doing, and I'm moving faster than you, but really, I already knew that as soon as I do this, I'm going here.
Yeah.
And as soon as you throw that, I'm doing that. So I already thought 3 moves ahead when it looked like I'm...
Yeah. Yeah, that is chess, like dude. You playing chess in boxing? That's crazy.
Yeah, I love chess. I love like the physical chess, and I love chess in any aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You actually play chess?
Yeah, I do play chess.
Really? Oh yeah, you beat my ass, dude.
I love chess.
I know. I need to get better. I like got a chessboard and everything, but I just haven't like put the time into like really. I even have a book. I think I just haven't like picked it up. But I think you're right. Like that's why I want to learn it because you could apply it in so many different like outlets of your life. It's just like
thinking moves ahead. That's all chess is really about. Thinking moves ahead.
Yeah.
If I can think 5 moves ahead in anything.
Yeah.
Bruh, you're already ahead at 75% of the game.
Damn, dude.
That's what I feel like.
And I think that is kind of important with creativity because that's something that, like, I feel like school almost made me do back in the day, right? Like, in college, it's like you have this assignment. You need to, like, figure out when you're going to do it, how you're going to do it, and, like, put it all together. And you had to, like, think that far ahead.
Yeah.
Without that, I just can go to work. You know what I mean? I could go to work. I do stand-up. I work out or whatever. Yeah. But, like, there's no intention in what I'm trying to do.
Right, exactly. When somebody gives you every step. Like, I feel like college forced you to be creative because they see you, like, obscene amounts of shit to do and you got to do it. But you're like, yo, if I really allot the time I need to. If I do it linearly like I would do back in high school, it can't work.
Yeah.
If I got a 15-page paper due here, I got a 5-page paper due here, I got to study for this test. How the fuck does it happen?
Yeah.
Like, I remember when I was pledging the fraternity.
Oh yeah.
I never finished it for many reasons, but they was like, all right, you got to write an 8-page paper about the life of the guy next to you.
Yo.
And it's like, how the fuck do you do? And then we need it tomorrow.
Damn.
Yeah.
Tomorrow? I don't know about all that.
Yeah, how do you do an 8-page paper on somebody else's life?
Yeah, that you just met.
Exactly. So what we did was we put our minds together and we're like, all right, we're each going to write an 8-page paper about ourselves. And then tonight, we're going to switch and you just read it and memorize it.
Yeah.
So it's like you wrote it.
Yeah.
So it's like that's how you use your creativity in a intellectual situation.
To cheat.
Yeah, to cheat, yeah.
That's what they do. That's what they do in China.
All about cheating. That's what it is.
Yeah, in China, you're allowed to cheat if you don't get caught. You know what I mean?
Very true.
That's what in a different way, it's kind of what I think it was like Steve Jobs or somebody's like, I want to hire lazy people because they'll find the easiest way to do shit.
That's what my army instructor used to say when I was in high school.
Yeah.
He used to say that shit about me. He's like, man, you get the laziest people the hardest jobs because they'll find the easiest ways to do them.
Yeah. And the easiest way is like, mind over,
Exactly. Use your mind over your physical.
Yeah. Just actually think of something like, well, why would we do all of this?
Exactly.
Instead of just this,
Exactly.
That's creative.
All right. If I got to move 40 boxes, instead of just moving 40 boxes, I just find a forklift to put it in, or I just put some sticks and watch it slide down wherever.
Yeah.
Just like,
well, and that's what you have to envision. You have to like plan that out. You know what I mean? You do have to have like an idea of how to get from point A to B through like thinking ahead,
Yeah.
That's like, so coming back to it, like having intention in thought is something that, like I said, like I was on autopilot. I had all these things I was doing and I knew I was doing it to like stir creativity in myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, damn, I'm running around talking to all these different people because I want to stimulate different parts of my brain.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like putting that into practice. You know what I mean? I was just kind of going with it because it's fun.
No, that's facts. You're right. It's easy to do that.
Yeah.
That's something you said with intention. That's something I learned doing meditating.
Really?
You doing stuff with intention.
Yeah.
Like actually being mindful about the things that you're doing.
Yeah.
Even if it's just breathing or if it's just taking in your surrounding.
Yeah, that is like something that you have to be very to like wake up. You know what I mean? Just like,
because it's real easy to go through life and you can go through 6 months and not pay attention at all.
Yeah.
And just boom, I know I gotta do this, then I gotta do that.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, you 35 or something like that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, with intention, man, and even with like rock climbing, you know what I mean? Like I could just throw myself up against the wall.
Right.
That's how I started, and it kind of has worked out and like helped me build the muscle. But now I'm getting to levels where it's like, all right, you gotta like they're called projects. You gotta project this climb so that way, like you're not like burnt out by the time you get to the middle of it.
You know, if you put your foot on this one, it'll help you catapult to that one. But if you just start throwing, next thing you know, is how do I reach that one? I'm all the way over here.
And you're holding yourself up, and you're just like, damn, why am I thinking about this now?
Right. The longer you holding yourself up and you don't know where to go, the harder it is going to be to get where you're trying to go.
Yeah, definitely. And so it's cool. Yeah, it's cool to see that, like, again, bringing it in sports again. And this is something like really within the past few weeks that has, I'm glad that you brought these topics, man, because like I haven't put intention. Like I said, since I've had like a good job that I like actually enjoy and haven't had like stressors, I've just been like rolling with everything. I feel like life is running me instead of me running life. You know what I mean? It's just kind of nice, you know what I mean?
Sometimes you got to be on autopilot so you can recharge the creative juices.
That's true.
Yeah, because they can get burnt out.
Yeah, I think seasons have a lot to do with that, too. Because, like, summer, you're like, there's so much you can do all the time.
I want to be up and be outside in summertime.
Yeah, and then winter is when you can, like, really sit with your, your
winter,
creativity.
I can barely stay awake, man. It get dark at 5 o'clock, man.
That's true.
I can barely stay awake, and it's cold outside.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, but I think that's something that like you also have to learn to like utilize. You know what I mean? Because that was there was a time where I would just let it like make me tired and like get me super depressed because I wasn't being productive enough and shit like that. But then there was a point where it's like, all right, it's like 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. I've already eaten dinner. What am I gonna do? Just watch a movie for the rest of the night or something?
Right.
You know what I mean? And then
Right.
pass out at like 9. I have to get like, come on, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I intentionally like, all right, it's like this. I know this is what my night's gonna be like.
Right.
I can still like plan to like have an hour or something at the end of the night where I'd like, smoke a bowl and like, have a glass of wine or whatever, watch a
Yeah.
movie. But like before that, like turn on all the lights, you know what I mean? Like light a candle, do something like I read this book called The Artist's Way,
Mm-hmm.
and it was about like, channeling your creativity and really
Yeah.
like because everybody has it in them is the whole point of the book, and it's really like trying to get it out of you is the hard part, and like
Yeah.
getting through creative blocks. But like they said, make a creative space, and you know a lot of creativity is about like you're you were creative and imaginative when you were a kid. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So you got to like make it a playful area. You got to make it like something fun.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'll put on like my green hat. Like I have a green beanie that's like 10 years old. I got it like in my first year of college or something. And it doesn't fit. It's a goofy hat, It was like a knitted beanie or
Yeah.
whatever, but it's like, oh, this is my like,
But I
creativity
like that
hat.
idea though
Yeah.
because that makes sense. Have a
Yeah.
creative space. Like I felt like I moved out of my mom's house because I lived there since I was a kid. I left when I was in college and came back after college. But like I've always been one way living in her house.
Yeah.
So it was hard to come back after college and now I got all these things I want to accomplish
Yeah.
to act a new way when I'm so used to being this way
Right.
in her space.
It's easy to revert.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
I felt like I had to get out of there so I can be different
Yeah.
in a new space.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to have a space that's allotted just for creativity or
Yeah.
for the thing that you want it to be for, so so it can help you jump in that mindset.
Right.
It makes sense.
Dude, you know what I used to do? I just forgot about. Do you live by yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, living by yourself is a whole ordeal in itself,
Yeah. It's the best ever, but it is like
Dude, it's just you and the
something.
walls,
Yeah.
bro. Your thoughts in the walls.
Yeah. I
It's-
love it though.
yeah?
Yeah.
That's good, man. It took me about 3 months to adjust, but
Mhm.
like once I did, it was like this is the shit,
Yeah.
dude. But I was trying to like stimulate creativity, and so what I used to do, this was before I started stand up, but it was also like mid-pandemic, so I couldn't really start. But I, before writing, you have all these little nuggets of just like little things that are in the well or whatever
Yeah.
that are could be a joke or even just like a creative idea or a story idea or whatever.
Definitely.
And when I lived by myself, I would just write it on post-it notes and just
Mhm.
stick it all around the house. So just surrounded by, like, oh yeah, I forgot about that idea. And think about it more. You know what I mean? Just like actively.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
Because I would just write shit in my notepad, but if I don't go on my notepad, that shit.
You're never
like,
gonna see it. You're never gonna think about it.
And I think I like try to write something else a year later, like, oh shit, I
Yeah.
had this idea, but I like having it on post notes around, so it can catch me at the right time.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. Because sometimes I got the inception for an idea, but I'm not in the space or wherewithal to build on it.
Yeah.
So having it catch me at home, and I'm done eating, I'm done
Yep.
everything for the day. It's 7 o'clock. I'm like, now it's
That's
time to
something.
build.
Yeah, there's something there.
There's something there. It's easier to build on that.
Yeah. And then I started kind of building off that too. This is not as much about creativity, but like again, I've been through like a lot of depressive periods and like anxious periods, and so I would just put like positive like messages up. Like in the morning, it was just like especially I have one in my desk right now. It's just like these are the good old days. It's a stupid phrase, but it's like you were saying, it's like it's easy to just like let shit like happen to you and not actively be awake and like appreciate shit. So it's like, dude, I'm like, this is like we're in Philadelphia. We're doing what like I mean things could be better. You could have more money or whatever, but you could still always do stand up. You could always work out. You could hang out with me whenever you want.
Exactly. Like we young, we got healthy bodies. We can go out. We can really do whatever we want.
Right.
We gonna look back at these days like those were the good days.
Yeah.
That's how I be looking about college now.
Right.
Because I was so much more broke in college. I was so much more drunk a lot of the times and high a lot of the times. So I feel like I wasn't really present as much as I could have been. But like, you gotta take in these moments. You gotta like, all right, take a second, breathe in this way.
Yeah.
28. I'm in the basement doing a podcast.
Right.
You know, people like my jokes. People like my movies. I got
Right.
stuff coming out. Like, I'm
Yeah.
in a good relationship. I got a lot of good shit going for me right now.
Yeah. It's easy to be hard on yourself too. And I think that's one of the
Oh,
biggest
man.
things for like creative blocks is
I'm
just
so
like, oh, that's a
hard on
stupid
myself.
idea. You shut it down immediately
Yeah.
or something. It's so easy to do that. But like, that's another thing. Like, if you have a little bit of confidence, it's gonna roll into more, and then you're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, that's a good idea,"
Right.
even if it wasn't. But it made you think of another idea that like is a better idea, you know?
Yeah.
Or like you have a joke that you think is good, and then you add like a tag because you were like, "Oh, it's a good joke. Let me add a couple tags."
Yeah.
You try it out. Tag is the best part of the thing. You cut the original joke, but you got that
Right,
like
you got the tag. See, that's why whenever I do jokes, I like to say them over and over and over and over and over in my head.
yeah,
Because the more you say, the more things you think of. I
That's
thought of my
true.
best jokes after saying it like 10 to 15 times or saying it in the shower.
yeah,
So it'd be those tags. That's what it is. You just got to force yourself to say it over and over and over.
yeah.
Boom. Things sound good.
Yeah, man. It's just the more you think about it.
Yeah.
The more you think about it, the better. Like the more you're gonna create from it. I think.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah. So I mean, I was like hitting that creative rut, and like I did a stupid thing. It's not a stupid, but I signed up for that acting class I was telling you about because I was like, "Oh, maybe this will like stimulate something else in my brain, so I'll actually like remember how to think again. You
Yeah.
know, because you have to actively try to think.
Yeah.
And I took that class, and they let you audit it for free, like the first class, so you just kind of see what goes on. And dude, like it's really you want to like all the stuff we're talking about is very relevant. And it's not every acting class, but it's this Meisner technique that they're teaching us. But really, what it is like literally being present with like a partner in the moment. So it's like you start out like everybody starts out the same, and it's like the fundamentals, and all you do is like you repeat words back to each other that are like personalized words.
Yeah.
So the whole point is to like either repeat your perspective or share your perspective, your unique emotional perspective in the moment. Whatever the words are, it doesn't matter. You just kind of like base your your response on what the other like if you're like, I like your jacket, and you're like, oh, you're being nice to me right now, and you're like, I'm being nice to you right now. Oh, you're getting defensive. It's like,
Okay.
but it's just like kind of like letting your emotions kind of like take you in the moment and
Yeah.
really like reading your partner. And I think that's good, obviously, like to do in daily life, like actually. Well, it's like being awake, but with people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
It's like focusing that energy on being present towards like another person,
Yeah.
which is cool. But also think about that within like stand up,
Yeah.
like with the crowd, like actually like reading what, because I would just go up there sometimes, just do my jokes and like kind of, black out or
Yeah.
like not
That's
really.
the thing. Like the jokes that you tell gotta depend on the audience. This took me a while to figure this out. Like I can have a whole 5, 10, 15 minutes set in my head,
Yeah.
but the audience is gonna tell you what they want to hear. So if the guy in front of you is telling jokes about Martin Luther King and they laughing, boom, guess what I'm coming up with?
Yeah.
Some Martin Luther King shit I just thought of or something that I've been had
Right.
before.
Yeah.
And then I'll try to ease my way into my jokes because
Right.
they'll tell you what they think is funny.
Yeah.
So if somebody is bombing on Harriet Tubman, I'm thinking about all these hysterical black people. Somebody's bombing on Harriet Tubman, but you had a whole 15-minute set about it.
Yeah.
You got to throw that shit out the window because
Right.
they're going to be like, all right, here goes some more bullshit. So yeah, you always got to be present and stand up.
Damn. I wonder if that is like presence is something that really would help more with creativity, because like you want to talk about being like stimulated and like stimulating different parts of your mind. It's just paying attention to maybe different shit that you didn't even like notice before in your house,
Yeah, I think it is all about being present because I feel like a lot of creative things comes of being present. Like a lot of inventions came from we don't have this.
True.
What if this made this easier?
Yeah.
So I'm present because I know I don't have this. Like I'd rather take a shower in the house than grab a pail from the well every time.
Yeah.
Let me invent some shit that just pumps it in the shower head.
Right.
It's all about being present in your situation.
Yeah.
And thinking of ideas that, are in the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That's easier said than done, though.
Oh,
You
100%.
know?
Coming up with the fucking shower head,
Yeah,
yeah.
because you think about it, it's like these guys are like, damn, dude, I'm hungry as shit, and they're just like in there, like, all right, there's something I can eat. All right, there's an animal I could kill or whatever.
Right, but I want to eat that shit later without it
Yeah,
fucking my stomach up. What can I do?
yeah, and if you actually open your eyes, like, take in the scenery, there's a horse like pulling, like pulling a thing or something. You're
Mm-hmm.
like, damn, that could help me, like grow seed or I don't know, bro. That's
No,
a
right,
that's a
right.
deep metaphor.
No, but yeah,
That's a great.
that's how it starts though. By
Yeah.
being in the moment and
Mm,
thinking of how something can help you or how something has hurt you and how it you can make something of it.
mm-hmm.
Basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and uh that's an interesting like idea to explore. Like, what's cool about being so it's kind of like this acting class, right? So you're supposed to come in like with an activity, and you're supposed to have like an urgent reason to do this activity. And
Yeah.
so somebody knocks on your door, they come in, and you guys repeat back to each other. And you're supposed to be in the moment with your partner, like, basing your emotion off of their emotion and kind of back and forth while you're doing
Yeah.
this thing. But you do have this background of this story that's in your head, basically, of, oh, I need to get this shit done,
Right.
So it's so weird, and this is one of the things that I'm learning that's kind of hard, is you have to let the story affect you, but not more than the present moment.
Yeah.
And so, in a way, like with creativity, with like writing, is like how much of your past life are you bringing to this moment now to like put it into like a story or something
I
like
put
that?
whatever I can in my past into a story because
Really?
I feel like the authentic stuff is the stuff that really lasts, is the stuff that people feel. And then even if it's
Mm,
from my past life, I switch it up enough to where it doesn't sound like my exact situation, but still has the same stuff. Like something I put in our new series. Is a guy. His mom is addicted to drugs, and him and his friend they were talking about the old days back when they used to hang out in the basement. So they start arguing or something like that,
mm,
and he says a line that's like his friend is a comedian.
mm,
So he says a line that's like, man, after all that happened with my mom for 2 days, I couldn't even eat. But you want to know what changed? You made me laugh so hard it made my stomach rumble.
mm,
And that happened to me in real life, where like my stepdad had passed away, and I didn't eat for a while. But
yeah,
all my friends had came over, and then they was just like busting on each other, making each other laugh, and I was just in the room,
yeah,
and then I had laughed, and it really made my stomach rumble. I'm like, dang, I am hungry.
yeah,
So I just put those type of situations. People remember lines like that.
yeah,
So I always try to bring some real authentic stuff, but switch it up so it fits the character.
yeah. Do you think that like your buddies like joking around, kind of like you were stuck in like a certain tract with thinking about your dad and all that going on, and then your buddies joking around kind of like snapped you into the present moment a little bit
Oh
enough to
yeah.
be like, oh shit, my body has something that it wants to say to me?
I've never thought of it like that, but 100%. Because I feel
Yeah,
like to laugh, you gotta be present.
right.
Because it's not too much of you laughing and you hear something in the background. I feel like to
Yeah,
laugh, you really gotta be present. You gotta hear the joke, or you gotta really think of what it is that's making you laugh. But
yeah,
it really brings you to the present moment. I think that's why comedy is so powerful. Why people love going to comedy
yeah.
shows,
Mm-hmm.
because it really makes you think of either right now or whatever they're talking about.
Right.
Makes you really put you in the moment.
Right, because it's not like a visual thing that you could follow and kind of trace back. Even like a story or a book, you can go back a couple times if you like.
Yeah,
I do that sometimes. I'll read a page and be like, I didn't read that page.
I do that all the time.
Yeah. But with comedy, and it happens, like you'll miss it. That's
Hmm.
the thing, is like you'll miss it if you're
Yeah,
not paying attention to it, because you
exactly.
can't go back and listen. If you're watching on like Netflix and trying to rewind it,
Right.
but it might fuck up the timing, which is all, like what comedy's all
And
about.
even if you do go back, all right, so now you got to be present the second time around. All right, now I got to
Yeah.
pay attention
Right.
to what actually got people, so I can try to see what it was.
Yeah, the point they were trying to make, and like,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. It's dude, it's so weird. I think like it is kind of the taking the class now is like it's keeping me so busy and keeping me bouncing around, like I was
yeah,
saying. But it really has like changed my idea of like just like scenes and like performances and like creativity
yeah.
in general, because like one of the things that, like, you can have a speech, right? And you can say the speech, but you have to narrow it down to, like, it could be like Shakespearean. People don't really understand Shakespearean English anymore. But if they can, like, precisely narrow it down to a specific emotion that they're feeling for each point of that speech,
Yeah.
then you'll feel that, you
Yeah.
know? Like, you'll feel the emotion, but you have to narrow it down so much
Yeah.
to, like, get it perfectly.
Exactly. You gotta understand it on a level that helps you portray it to
Yeah.
people, so you can give it off better, so they can take it in better. Basically, it's like you being a teacher. You got a lesson
Yeah.
plan. You gotta kind of give it to these young impressionable minds in a way that they can digest it.
Mm-hmm.
Basically,
Instead of just zoning out.
exactly. That's the
Yeah.
same thing with acting.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with comedy.
With comedy.
I watched something like a couple years back, how Louis C.K. tells a joke.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I never thought of it, like how he uses inflections and how he was talking about his daughters and how they play games. He's like, we used a little whirly
Yeah.
but when we play Monopoly, it's a dark game. It's like how he just used different inflections for his voice, his speed,
Yeah.
and his cadence.
Oh, the candy. Like, we're playing
like,
candy, the gumdrops.
And then but when we're playing Monopoly, it's a dark game.
Sweetheart, I'm going to take all of your houses.
That doesn't even touch how much you owe.
You're done. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. But
yeah, it's like them inflections to really portray it for the audience or whoever you're trying to get this point across to.
Yeah, definitely, man. And like, what's crazy about stand-up, which I think makes it, I don't know, you can't, it's different ball games, so you can't really compare, like, stand-up to acting, to writing, to whatever. But the thing I value about stand-up is there really is, like, your writing.
Yeah,
that's your writing. What are you trying to say with that writing? Which is something I hadn't thought about. You know what I mean? Like, I was just writing things that sounded funny.
Yeah.
But, like, what are you really trying to, like, get them to think about or feel with that joke, you know? Obviously you're trying to get them to like laugh, but, like, because of what? Like, what are they uncomfortable? Or is it like a fear that you're, like, breaking the tension on? Is it like a happy, like a wholesome thing that you want them to be like, oh, you know, like, it's very, I never thought about it and, like, applied it to that.
I feel like all the jokes that really resonated with me were jokes that had actual points, that were like the medicine is in the candy, but was like delivered so well you didn't notice it until afterwards.
Yeah, true.
Like, like if a comedian talking about something deep, but they just, like, he's talking about Candyland with his daughters.
Yeah.
He's just talking about how, how he relates to his kids and how he uses these games. And it's like,
and a little bit of parenting, too.
Yeah, right. It's like real parenting, but he's using these games to kind of give us this medicine in the candy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, dude, that's crazy. That is cool, man. Like, I love that. Man, this is what I love talking. I haven't talked about creativity in so long, and I think it's important. And you want to talk about thinking about things and, like, keeping them in your mind, is like, even the concept of creativity is something that you have to actively pursue.
Yeah.
And, like, that's what I'm saying, is like, I even knew that, and I've been trying to do it, but I haven't really, like, done the chess, like, thinking it out ahead, you know? Yeah, the intention behind it.
Yeah. See, but sometimes with creativity, you don't gotta think it out. You gotta just let it flow.
True.
Because I feel like I'm in a creative rut. Like, I don't really feel like writing. I want to do stand-up, but I don't really feel like doing, or I feel like doing stand-up, but I don't really want to do stand-up. I don't want to go out. So it's like, how do I get this creativity out?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, all right, I'm going to just keep doing what I'm doing. I'm not on autopilot. I'm taking this class. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. And I'll let the creativity find me.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, dude, I totally feel it. It's something that I'm learning. It's hard to cope with, is like doing what you actually feel like doing.
Yeah.
Because sometimes what you feel like doing is the wrong thing. The wrong thing. Like, saying it, it's like, I don't want to go out, dude. I just want to stay in tonight and just, like, do nothing. And, like, sometimes that's good. Like, sometimes, like, you need that. Maybe, like, you need like, I haven't. This is the same way with stand up, and so I literally took like a month, 2 months, like a month and a half off.
Yeah.
And now I still only do it like once every, like I said, like once every like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I don't like I want to do it. Don't get me wrong. I want to be out there like all the time doing it. it's like I don't really feel like doing it.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
But like, it doesn't mean I'm done. You know what I mean? It means like I'm taking this period to like work on some other shit and like.
Yeah.
Even just talking this conversation right now, like I'm definitely gonna apply some of the things that we talked about into
Yeah.
like writing, and even like my old jokes. You know what I mean? It's like now I can look at them in a different perspective
Exactly.
because I've learned some new, some new technique or like new style.
Yeah,
Or
you
something
gotta
like
step
that.
away from stuff so you can get a better perspective of it.
Yeah,
So that's what I feel like it is with stand up. Sometimes I gotta take a couple weeks or a month off because if I'm going multiple times a week, every week, it just feel like it can become like autopilot. I'm just
yeah,
doing this, I'm just doing that, then I expect this to happen. Oh, that don't happen, I feel a little bad. I'm doing this to do that, so this can happen. That don't happen, now I'm feeling a little worse. So it's like, all right, now let me step away. So when I come back to it, I got a greater appreciation. I can see stuff from a different angle. I'm coming at jokes from all jokes are is just real shit from a different angle.
yeah,
That's all it is. You saying real shit from a different angle.
yeah,
Like so many comedians say basic things
yeah,
just from a different angle.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's the whole thing, dude. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like how much new shit could we actually think of,
Right.
dude?
It's
So
all about the angle. All about
yeah.
the angle.
Well, somebody said is like everything right now is like just a copy of a copy of a copy of an idea,
Yeah.
but with like a new age spin on it because of the era that we're in, because of the people that we are. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, there's nothing technically original anymore, but there is original style, I think.
Right.
Like unique styles or like a compilation of just
Yeah.
styles, dude.
So I see it like we all using the same recipe, but we using different portions of ingredients.
Damn. Yeah, that's true.
That's basically what it is.
And they
Like,
always
there's
come
like
out tasting different.
exactly.
Damn.
We can all have the same cake recipe. I might use a little bit of sugar. You might use a little more sprinkles, and it'll be a completely different cake.
Yeah, you put sprinkles on your cake, dude?
You know, I'm not a big, sometimes I ain't a big cake dude, but
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. No, I feel that though. That's important to remember too, because like both cakes are gonna taste good. You know, one might look better or something,
Yeah.
or other people might like the other cake more.
That's
You know,
facts,
but you'll make another cake.
Exactly. You just keep making cakes.
Just keep making
Just
cakes.
keep making cakes.
Damn,
You
I
got a
wish.
recipe, keep making cakes.
Yeah, and then you become a baker. Damn, that's a good way to go.
Exactly. Next thing you know, you got a whole shelf full of cakes, and boom, you're selling cakes now.
Hell yeah, dude. Creativity and cakes. There's that. That's a thing.
Creativity and cakes.
Yeah, cake creativity, dude. All right, Mbeta, dude. I think we got into the depths of it. I think I don't know if there's. I mean, there's so much more within creativity that we could always talk about.
It's unlimited. You can talk about creativity for an unlimited amount of time.
Right, and that dude. That's why I love it so much. That's
Yeah.
why I love when people want to talk about creative shit with me. But I think we got into the depths, and I already love what we talked about.
Yeah.
You know, I want to capture that and keep that special
Yeah.
instead of just like trying to push through
I feel
anymore.
that.
So I appreciate you coming out here. Beta, I love Mbeta on Instagram.
Yep.
You got anything else? Oh, you got dude. You got so much to promote. Roll it out.
So
dude.
yeah, I'm just promoting the Johnny series right now. We just finished shoot. We just actually shot the last 2 scenes on Friday. Just shot the last 2 scenes. We've been working on this
Nice.
since January.
Damn,
Just
that's
shot
a
the
whole
last
almost
2
a whole
scenes.
year.
Yeah, and we still gotta edit. We still gotta put those last 2 scenes in, edit. We gotta do the audio. It's color. We still gotta look through it a couple more times. But yeah, that's what I'm really promoting right now. Johnny series.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be coming soon.
There's an
Brianna
Instagram
series.
for it, right?
Yes. Official Johnny series.
Official Johnny series.
Check
Hell
that out.
yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
check it out. Dude, it's the camera work, at least from what I've seen, like with the previews and everything.
Yeah.
And I mean, like based on your previous work too, you do have like a lot of like emotion and like real moments.
Oh yeah.
And you're good at like displaying them,
That's
know?
what it's about. It's trying to make people feel things. That's all we're trying to do. Make people feel things.
Yeah, and then apply that to their lives, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Official Johnny series.
Official
dude.
Johnny series.
Might not be for another. You got to do all the editing and stuff. What,
Yeah,
like
I
another
see
6
it.
months? You think
6 months at the latest.
at the latest?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Yeah. We'll keep an eye out for it,
Yeah,
dude.
for sure.
Got any shows or anything? Or you taking that break?
I'm taking that break.
If you
Yeah.
got an IT job for my man.
I'm saying, yeah, I'm about to be certified in like the next couple months, so you know.
Yeah.
I might be out
Absolutely.
here, yeah. I fix computers. I'm gonna have a little business for that.
Mm.
Trying to create more time so I can be creative. Right now, I'm working a
Yeah.
lot, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to create more time, be able to, to give the laziest people the hardest job. So I do a harder job so I can make it easier. So I can work less. So I got more time to be creative.
Yes, sir.
That's the goal right now.
Yeah, that's a good goal to have. Also set up a email. If you want to send an email, articulatewithstevemcj@gmail.com. Yeah.
Got the email vibe.
Got the email. I just want to, see what happens.
Of course, right. People write in, they might have topics or they want to want you to talk to some people more and stuff like that.
Yeah, a little bit of feedback.
Exactly.
Send me an email. Let's get intimate. All right, dude. I appreciate you coming out. It was a good conversation.
For
man.
sure.
Thanks so much.
Always.